Welcome to one of the most authentic, vivid, and epic documentaries about the brutal commercial fishing industry on the stormy open seas, where weather-beaten men Women risk their lives and physical strength to snatch precious resources from the cruel Mother Nature. The industrial-scale blue crab fishing, a true battle for survival between tiny humans and the boundless ocean. This arduous journey often begins in the misty dawn, when the sky is still a gloomy, cold gray, and fog envelops the rusty steel fishing vessels named My Iron Gull, Cole, or Mara, struggling to cut through the waves as they head out to sea.
Lower it slowly. The swell is high. Hold it.
The wet, slippery decks are always cluttered with thick braided ropes and winches, heavy hydraulic cranes, and mountains of square, box-shaped net traps.
Listo. Sube. Dale, dale. Arriba.
Heavy, green traps are stacked upon each other, awaiting the moment they will be lowered to the dark seabed. The resilient fishermen, clad in thick, waterproof protective clothing, bright orange overalls, begin their relentless work, defying the biting cold. They tense their bulging muscles beneath their thick clothing. Their hands, clad in rough, dirty rubber gloves, swiftly hook rotting, blood-soaked baitfish into the iron cages.
Đối chiếu số liệu con này.
Using all their strength, combined with the powerful assistance of the hydraulic winch system, they propelled the traps over the side of the ship, sliding down the rails with a thunderous roar and plunging into the icy black water.
Đảm bảo đúng kích cỡ chưa? Rồi, lô này đạt chuẩn xuất khẩu. Anh nhập số liệu vào đi, con này đạt yêu cầu. Rồi, chính xác 18,5 cm.
The heavy cages tear through the surface of the sea, sending up white foam. before sinking to the silent ocean floor covered in mud, sand, and coral reefs to trap swarms of blue crabs.
Con này ướt quá. Đưa số liệu đây. Nhanh lên.
A giant, star-shaped golden crab with enormous, sharp claws lurked in the deep sea. The weights dragged on amidst the deafening roar of the ship's engines and the relentless pounding of waves against the hull, threatening to engulf everything around it. Then, the most suspenseful, emotionally charged moment arrived. The taut steel cable winches vibrated violently, pulling the trapped cages from the deep seabed to the surface, creating thousands of white bubbles that scattered everywhere.
Nhìn con ghẹ khổng lồ này. Chúng ta trúng mả rồi. Tuyệt vời quá.
Hundreds of large, wild blue crabs, crammed so tightly they threatened to tear through the metal netting. Thrashed about, their legs scraping against each other in a frantic, hopeless attempt to escape.
Vô lưới rồi, kéo lẹ đi. Có rất nhiều ghẹ.
The scene on the deck was a true explosion of energy and abundance, as a massive amount of seawater cascaded down like a waterfall from the bottom of the cages onto the undulating metal deck, creating a torrential downpour. With a torrential downpour that soaked the camera lens, the workers, like the seasoned Captain Cole, were the muscular young men with sweat and seafoam-streaked faces. Quickly exerted their strength to lift the net cage upside down, dumping countless blue crabs onto the wet, rough metal table, or giant blue plastic trays, creating a biological cascade of free-falling.
According to the manifest, these should be grade A. Confirm the shell quality. They look good, sturdy, but the weight is off by nearly 5% from the log.
Tumbling crabs that snagged on each other, sliding and tumbling across the tray's surface in a chaotic, crisp, and incredibly lively manner, to clean off the stubborn mud and algae clinging to their crustacean shells.
Watch the net, don't spray the styrofoam. Got it, Captain. Is this one big enough?
A fisherman will grab a high-pressure water hose, twist the valve, and unleash a torrent of water straight into the wriggling pile of seafood, further panicking the crabs.
Sang bên kia nhanh lên.
The force of the rushing water violently crashes against their sturdy shells, creating a torrent of foam that cascades down onto the turbulent deck, and a thick mist of water spray hovers in the air. Reflecting the dazzling headlights, creating a wet, intense, high-intensity cleaning process that is both cinematic and brutally raw, reflecting the harsh realities of the fishing industry.
Xong chưa? Xong rồi, nặng quá.
Carapace width, 92 millimeters. 92, noted.
Immediately following this brutal cleaning process with brute force is a meticulous, rigorous, and scientifically precise quality control, sorting, and packaging process that takes place right on the rocking deck.
Kẹp xong chưa? Rồi, con này 12 phân.
The stark contrast between the raw physical strength of the fisherman and the absolute precision of the administrative paperwork is the most striking aspect of this seafaring profession. Female inspectors in white waterproof jackets bearing the Mara logo, or experienced fishermen.
Coi chừng con sóng đó. Rõ rồi, thuyền trưởng.
Wearing blue rubber gloves, they carefully use stretched aluminum calipers to precisely measure the shell dimensions of the giant blue crabs, placed millimeter by millimeter on a brightly lit LCD electronic scale, displaying vivid red or green numbers such as 4.22 or 5.218.
Con này 1 kg 2, 1 kg 2, ghi xong rồi.
Immediately, layers of finely crushed ice, sparkling like crystal, were used to maintain absolute freshness, causing wild seafood to meekly curl up and huddle together due to the drastically reduced temperature. However, work at sea is not always smooth sailing, as Mother Nature always knows how to display her unparalleled, brutal power.
Anh kiểm tra lại đi. Đã xác nhận đóng gói và chuẩn bị cập bến. Thảm ghẹ này tươi lắm, nhưng phải theo dõi nhiệt độ kỹ hơn. Vâng, tôi đang ghi lại đây. sương mù thế này dễ ảnh hưởng lắm.
On some days, storms rage, with gigantic black waves surging like walls of water, relentlessly lashing against the sides of the steel hull, causing it to sway and tilt, threatening to capsize into the abyss.
5.2 kilograms. Next one, quickly. Đúng 3,5 kg không?
Đúng rồi.
Được rồi, 3,2 cân.
Heat-biting wind, carrying salt spray, whips against the faces of the workers, clinging to the metal raging railings to avoid being swept away into the dark depths of the sea.
Hurry up, more traps coming in. Watch the basket, careful now.
The high-powered searchlights of the ship blind the night and pierce through the thick fog, only enough to illuminate the small figures bravely battling the ocean's fury. They work continuously, day and night, their sweat mixing with the salty seawater.
Scan complete. Everything matching up on your end?
Yes, the numbers look good. We can proceed.
And after hours of exhausting labor, facing the boundary between life and death, the rare, invaluable moment of peace finally arrived when they retreated inside the warm, airtight cabin, dispelling the biting cold of the open sea.
Confirmed. Logging the batch now.
Được 5,5 kg. Rồi, ghi nhận 5,5 kg.
Okay, logging the width at 18.2 centimeters.
Confirmed. The next one is slightly smaller.
Con này ướt quá. Được rồi, 2,3 kg.
Đã quên mã.
Here, on the rusty stainless steel kitchen table, gently swaying with the rhythm of the continuously roaring engine, radiant smiles bloomed on their faces as they rewarded themselves with bowls of sticky white rice and succulent, peeled, juicy, bright orange crab meat. Radiant smiles bloomed on their faces as they treated themselves to ceramic bowls filled with sticky, tightly packed white rice and succulent, peeled, bright orange pieces of boiled crab meat, the ultimate in revitalization for their weary muscles.
Đúng lúc đang đói. Xong rồi, ngon lắm. Anh ăn đi. Nhìn hấp dẫn quá. Cảm ơn nhá.